We need to build a wall, and it has to be built quickly.
Good morning. It is 9:07 on Super Talk 99.7 WTN. Hey, how are you? My name is Chris Hand. Show's brought to you by our friends at Better Water LLC. Water filtration systems, water softeners. You can get those at betterwater.com. We got Mason Fleming producing. We got Joan Jones in the newsroom. And just for a point of reference, Joan Jones gives out the best hugs. I don't know if you know that.
Aww.
I don't know if you know that. I walked downstairs this morning and after getting ready, and I saw Virginia, my beautiful wife, and she had a little tear in her eye. And I said, "Well, is everything okay?" And she said, "I was just thinking about the hug that Joan Jones gave me."
Oh, my goodness.
She said it was the first hug that she had gotten that wasn't from me or one of the kids at church Sunday morning.
She held on, man. She held on.
She said that was a hug that she needed. So if you need a hug, Joan Jones is selling them.
I have arms.
And I'm going to take 15% of all the profits. Joan, we love you. It was a great sermon this weekend, and I hope that you got a great sermon wherever you went to church, because churches were packed. And churches were packed for one reason only. People feel a sense of revival in this country. People want to get closer to Jesus. They see the example that was left by Charlie Kirk, and they say, I want that. Sign me up for some of that, because that looks like it was working for him, and I think it can work for me, and it will. It will. Charlie Kirk, no longer with us. It was a tough weekend. Connected with a lot of people. I'm just so grateful for my family, my wife, but the outpouring of support that we've had from listeners and the community, and we're excited to see everybody tonight in Murfreesboro. We have a candlelight vigil happening. The local Turning Point USA high school chapters put this together. I think it was Rockville started this one, but there's going to be a bunch of different chapters there. And those kids, they reached out and said, will you come? I said, absolutely. Wouldn't miss it for the world. So that's going to be at 7 o'clock, 1500 Medical Center Parkway. I believe it's at the Fountains. I believe that's where it is. 1500 Medical Center Parkway, though, is the address. We want to see you there. Bring candles, bring tissues. We'll be praying. We'll be, having some fellowship, and we'll be showing a lot of support. So it's gonna be a lot of fun, and we're really looking forward to that. We also got news over the weekend about the memorial service. I talked about it a little bit during the cross. Very grateful that my wife and I are going to be able to go to that, and that my parents jumped in. We don't have family around here. We just don't. The closest is my sister in Hazel Green, but she's got 3 kids of her own. So you know how that is. And it's like, hey, you want to watch our kids on a school night? It's not exactly the best look. So I called my parents, and before I could even get the sentence out of my mouth, they said, yes, we'll be there. So we're going to fly out this weekend. We're going to go down to Phoenix. We're going to take in that memorial service. I don't know how much I'm going to watch of it, just to be perfectly honest with you. I've told anybody that could listen over at Turning Point, like, put me to work, want to help carry this load with you guys. So that's going to be our first focus, just because a lot of people, that you don't realize you get that Charlie died, but it's like the show's going on. Like, they're still working. Like, everybody. Like, there's a memorial outside of headquarters, and this is something I don't know if you know, but I always joked about when I started working at Turning Point. They have like a whole Kinko's inside their offices. So they have that because they couldn't trust local. And we saw, I think it was Office Max over the weekend wouldn't print Charlie Kirk posters. So it was like they ran into this kind of stuff at different college chapters where they wouldn't be able to print political signs and political slogans. So they ended up saying, screw it, we'll do it ourselves. So they print everything in-house, and then they send it out to all their Turning Point chapters. And it's a huge operation. It's pretty cool. But as they have this memorial developing outside of the Turning Point offices, there's a big banner for Charlie. Yeah, that was printed in-house. Like, those guys are still working. Like, you see all the media appearances that are being done. It's like, yeah, that's being coordinated in-house. You saw Erica Kirk's speech on Friday night. It's like, yeah, there was camera guys, production guys, editors, social media. They're all still working. They haven't even had a chance to grieve. So when we get there for the memorial service, it's like, all I want to do is help lighten the load somewhere. That's it. I feel for all of my friends and colleagues over there. My heart breaks for them. I don't think they've had a chance to grieve any of this at all. I think it's going to hit in a couple weeks. But I've been reaching out to all of them. They're just a tremendous group of people. I could spend an entire show detailing to you how tremendous the people at Turning Point USA are. Honestly, like, to the point where when we were having an issue where our house wasn't selling. It's like, it's always a God thing. When we were going to move to Phoenix, our house wasn't selling, and it worked out in our favor because we got to keep our house. But at the time, one of the guys that runs productions over there, Marcus, this is just like the quality of character of people that work at Turning Point USA. He said, "Hey, Chris, I know you have an issue selling your house." He goes, it's like, "I got a 3-bedroom house that we rent out. I'll give it to you for free for a year." Like, this is like the high quality character people behind the scenes at Turning Point USA. So I just want to get down there and help them in any way, shape, or form. I mentioned a second ago, they're all still working. And when we saw that speech from Erica on Friday night, there's a room full of people on the other side of that camera who are just rocked, just wrecked. And I don't know if you heard Erica's speech, but I don't know how we couldn't hear them crying on camera when she was giving it.
Knowing that one of his mottos was never surrender. So I want to tell you that we'll never surrender. We never will. Ever. Ever. Our campus tour this fall will continue. There will be even more tours in the years to come. America Fest here in Phoenix this December will go on. It will be greater than ever. The radio and podcast show that he was so proud of will go on. And in a world filled with chaos, doubt, and uncertainty, my husband's voice will remain. And it will ring out louder and more clearly than ever. And his wisdom will endure. My favorite too, but my husband's favorite word in the English language was earn.
I mean, Erica was just an absolute stud during that speech. I don't know how she kept it together as well as she could. But when she's making those announcements, America Fest is going to happen. The high school tour, the college tour season is going to continue. It's unbelievable. Never surrender. They're not. They're not surrendering. They're not. But to not give up, to not back down in the face of so much pain it's exemplary for all of the individuals at Turning Point USA. And I could spend the entire show listing them out by name, but just know all of them are working so hard. And again, through this level of pain.
And I talked to her and she said, "Mommy, I missed you." I said, "I miss you too, baby." She goes, "Where's Daddy?" What do you tell a 3-year-old? She's 3. I said, baby, Daddy loves you so much. Don't you worry. He's on a work trip with Jesus, so he can afford your blueberry budget.
I don't know how they're doing it. I just don't. I don't. With the level of grace that they've been able to hold it together, it's unbelievable. I expected a lot of fire and a lot of anger, and we got some of that during the speech with Erica Kirk. Defiant. You heard her saying, the fall tour is going to continue. America Fest is going to continue. But she went even further than that.
Evildoers responsible for my husband's assassination have no idea what they have done. They killed Charlie because he preached a message of patriotism, faith, and of God's merciful love. But they should all know this. If you thought that my husband's mission was powerful before, you have no idea. You have no idea what you just have unleashed across this entire country and this world. You have no idea. You have no idea the fire that you have ignited within this wife. The cries of this widow will echo around the world like a battle cry.
And they have.
To everyone listening tonight across America, the movement my husband built will not die. It won't. I refuse to let that happen.
And there's just hundreds of Turning Point USA employees who are going to refuse to let that happen as well. I was heartbroken watching this on Friday night. I don't know about you. Cried through this thing. But then you get to Saturday morning, you get to Sunday morning, and it's just that old example of God won't waste your pain. Churches packed everywhere. Everywhere. This guy wanted to be remembered for his courage and his faith and his Savior. Well, yeah, mission accomplished, Charlie. Mission accomplished. My church was standing room only. I know so many other people who are saying we're going back to church for the first time. You heard Mandis. Mandis was in here saying, I'm back. How amazing is that? What an absolute blessing on this country to see. Vigils popping up all over the country. All over the country. We have vigils in Franklin. We're going to have one in Murfreesboro tonight. But it's not just the South. There's vigils in California, Huntington Beach. There were vigils in Manhattan. There was people cheering for Charlie Kirk at the New York Jets game. I mean, this is in deep blue New York. It's unbelievable to see. I'm moved by it, and I think you guys are too. L.A. Dodgers pitcher Blake Treinen, is that his name? Blake Treinen. He's got a game over the weekend, and we'll put it up on the screen. But he writes Charlie Kirk with a cross on his hat. God bless him. This is the same Major League Baseball team that, what was it, the Sisters of Indulgence, the transgender nuns. They have the transgender nuns. Pendulums are swinging, man. Pendulums are swinging. I love to see it. The NFL had tributes all over the weekend. The Titans had a tribute for Charlie Kirk. We can go down the list. Just about every team had a tribute to Charlie Kirk. And sure, some of them were a little bit weak-kneed, and they combined it with victims of violence. But listen, I'll take it. You're seeing the pendulum swing in this country. Murals are starting to go up. People are painting murals of Charlie Kirk. One popped up in Edinburgh, Texas. Edinburgh, just to point out, is a predominantly Hispanic community. I thought he was a racist. What a joke. What an absolute joke. But the biggest silver lining that I saw all weekend long was the chapter response. And this is in a direct correlation to Erica Kirk's speech on Friday night. The chapter response was unbelievable. The current numbers before all of this happened were 900 college chapters, 1,200 high school chapters. Since Erica Kirk's speech, it's been like 30-something thousand, closer to 35,000 new chapter requests for Turning Point USA. When she says that this movement is only going to get stronger, the proof is already here. And I'm hopeful by that. I really am. I mean, the fact that we're going to be able to advance the ideas that Charlie worked so hard to advance on these college campuses is amazing. And I said it earlier during the cross, but I'll say it again to you. You don't have to be a high school or a college student to make a difference. What 35,000 new chapter requests tells me is that Turning Point USA is going to be hiring. They're going to be hiring. tpusa.com/careers. That's how I got hired at Turning Point USA. That's how you'll get hired at Turning Point USA. One of the best things about this company is that they're looking for culture fits. You've never done this before? We'll find something for you. They're looking for culture fits. Are you willing to work hard? Go the extra mile? Do you have a warrior spirit? Do you have a faith that is overflowing? Then Turning Point USA might be the spot for you. 35,000 new chapters. But it wasn't just what we saw in America. It was what we saw globally as well. Erica said that. It's not just what we're going to see here in America. The battle cry has been heard around the world, and we saw a ton of response globally. We'll bring you some of that on the other side. It's 9:21. This is Super Talk 99.7 WTN. Hey, what's up? It's Chris Hand here from my friends at United Structural Systems. And when it comes to these home repairs, especially the waterproofing, it's so easy to ignore the warning signs. You're just like, it's a little water in the basement. It's just some damp walls after it rains. And you hope it'll go away. But here's the truth. Small problems are never going to stay small. The good news, USS is going to give you that peace of mind. And they've already done that for 30,000 homeowners across Middle Tennessee and Southern Kentucky. And the way they do that is they don't show up with sales pressure. They show up with an expert. They don't show up with a guy who's worried about his quota. They show up with a guy who's going to give you honest answers about your home. Whether it's foundation repair or waterproofing, USS is going to stand behind their work with warranties that you can lean on. That's how they've stayed locally owned and in the game for 30 years. And that's why you can tell that they're here for the long haul. So if you see the warning signs, that water in the crawl space, in the basement, the wet walls, all that kind of stuff, don't wait. If you wait, it's only going to get worse. Call USS today. Let's get it fixed. 615-488-7855. 615-488-7855. USSTN.com.
I'm Pastor Alan Jackson, and I'm excited to invite you to join me for my brand new show on Super Talk 99.7 WTN. Every Sunday night from 7 to 8, I'll be talking about the week's news and headlines, but through a biblical lens. Together, we'll look at what's happening in our world and how God's Word can guide us through it. Join me, Pastor Alan Jackson, Sunday evenings at 7 on Super Talk 99.7 WTN. And you can listen on iHeartRadio and tune in.
Jody Barrett is running for the recently vacated congressional seat of Mark Green. What's up, Jody?
How you doing, brother?
I'm good, man. Let's play a little word association.
All right, let's go.
Bobby Kennedy.
Good guy.
Operation Warp Speed.
Not so much.
Fluoride in the drinking water.
Get it out of here.
Geoengineering or chemtrails?
Absolutely real.
Absolutely real. Thank you.
Yeah, no, it's real. It's a real thing. We have documentation to prove that.
what are you going to do about it?
Well, we're trying at the state level. I think, the eyes are being opened. You mentioned Marjorie Taylor Greene earlier. She's putting legislation forth on this at the federal level. I think ultimately all of this has to end up in the president's desk and him understand what's really going on and buy into it. Just like we saw in TVA in the Cheatham County fight. Once he gets involved, things happen. And so I think that's where you really are lobbying a party of one there to try to get the president to understand how big a deal this is.
The DNA hit that investigators announced this morning in the Charlie Kirk murder case, and what to expect from the Federal Reserve this week. All of that and more coming up at 9:30 on Super Talk 99.7 WTN.
That's Joan Jones in the newsroom. My name is Chris Hand. This is a bunch of South Koreans yelling, "We are Charlie Kirk." I love seeing the message stretching out globally. There were marches in Australia, South Korea. There was a million-man march in Britain. The British people gathering to mourn Charlie Kirk. Also, they were pushing back against mass migration. They were preaching about British nationalism, which, it's a big deal. It's a big deal. During those protests, they were chanting for Charlie as well. Just waving their flags. One woman talking about Charlie Kirk.
Why is it important for you to be carrying this today?
Why? He's still with us. He's still with us.
He's still with us. He's still with us. You love to see this stuff. Tommy Robinson, who is jailed in the United Kingdom because he violated their laws on speech, talked about Charlie Kirk on stage. He said, guys, if Charlie had been a Briton, he was a Brit, right? He would have been arrested for the things that he said.
Charlie, Charlie, Charlie. When you hear people talk about the special relationship between America and Great Britain, this is the special relationship that you're seeing here. It's not between our governments. Does anyone think David Lammy or Keir Starmer have got a special relationship with America? They hate America. They hate everything it represents. They hate freedom. Keir Starmer dared to make a Twitter post about the murder of Charlie Kirk. If Charlie Kirk lived in this country, he'd have been imprisoned for some of the things he said.
He's absolutely right. I love that he calls out the conservative government of England. I'm using air quotes if you're not watching on YouTube and Rumble. It's the conservative government of England. He kept going.
So today, as well, there's only one country in the world and one government that's fighting for all of our free speech. It's not our government. It's certainly not the European Union. It's the Republican Party in the United States. It's J.D. Vance. It's Donald Trump. Donald Trump Donald Trump may not have been elected if it wasn't for Charlie Kirk.
Facts.
Charlie Kirk's legacy to us in Great Britain is the only reason we have hope, that we have a fight, that we're still in the fight, and that we have an opportunity to regain our free speech. It's because of the legacy left by Charlie Kirk.
You love to see the outpouring of support for Charlie Kirk. You do. And I love the fact that so many of these patriots across the pond are hearing these messages, and many of them probably for the first time, and they're resonating. I'm a big fan of this, and I hope it continues. There's a lot more in the silver lining. The sleeping giant has awoken, but some people are still very upset. CNN, they were trying to pretend that they didn't know what the motive was. We'll talk about the motive. We'll also talk about some of the fake Republicans that are jumping up to get on the bandwagon, up to and including the Utah Governor Spencer Cox. We'll talk about all that on the way. It's 9:31 on Super Talk 99.7 WTN.
Good morning. I'm Joan Jones with your top story. Still working a crash scene in Brentwood this morning on 65 northbound past Concord Road, still causing a lot of delays. And in Franklin on the southbound side of 65, a crash there takes out the left 2 lanes on 65 just before Cool Springs Boulevard. Big mess on 65 today. An important development in the Charlie Kirk murder investigation. We know that investigators found a screwdriver and a firearm wrapped in a towel near the scene of the shooting in Utah. Well, now FBI Director Kash Patel had this announcement on Fox News this morning.
And I can report today that the DNA hits from the towel that was wrapped around the firearm and the DNA on the screwdriver are positively processed for the suspect in custody.
Yes, and they're getting some help from the suspect's boyfriend as well.
Investigators also confirming they've now interviewed Robinson's roommate, with whom they say he was romantically involved. Officials say Robinson had no military experience, but was proficient with a firearm. Multiple social media posts by his family show him posing with guns.
ABC's Megan Norwood, the victim of a hit and run in Nashville, has died. On Thursday, 28-year-old Nicholas Leonhardt of Charlotte, North Carolina, was hit by an SUV while crossing 4th Avenue South in the early morning hours. He was taken to a hospital, but he died on Saturday morning. WSMV4's Alexandria Adams.
Police are telling us that 41-year-old George Hennon called Nashville police officers hours later. He then admitted to his involvement in this accident. We know that he was arrested shortly after.
Hennon was charged with leaving the scene of the crash and a host of other charges, and Metro Police are expected to amend those charges now. The Federal Reserve wraps up a 2-day meeting on Wednesday when it's largely expected that it will cut interest rates.
The Fed is widely expected to cut interest rates by 0.25%, meaning it gets a little bit cheaper to borrow money. Think lower credit card APRs, less expensive car loans. This can also impact mortgage rates, which have been moving lower in anticipation. The average 30-year fixed-rate mortgage hit its lowest level since 2024 earlier this month.
ABC's Rebecca Jarvis. That is the latest news. Weather is next. I'm Joan Jones, WTN News.
Well, if you want to fix your aches and pains and you don't want to use pills, drugs, surgery, you should talk to the Wellness Institute of Nashville. If you're tired of that back pain, that knee pain, that neck pain ruining your life, listen up. This could change everything for you. It's called the Big Daddy Trump Special, and it's just $12, and it's going to land you a full exam, x-rays if needed, a well-explained diagnosis, and your first treatment for only $12. You're going to get back to a pain-free life, and you're not going to break the bank. Dr. Mitchell and Dr. Ashley, they're not going to give up on you and healing your pain, just like President Trump came and didn't give up on this country. This is why they're calling it the Big Daddy Trump Special. Whether it's back pain, neck pain, sciatica, numbness, bulging discs, they'll treat it all with non-surgical spinal decompression, robot lasers, anti-gravity machines, no surgery, no injections, no painkillers. It's time to grab your MRI and get ready to finally understand your condition and fix it. 615-246-5009 is the number to make an appointment with Dr. Mitchell or Dr. Ashley. That's 615-246-5009, or you can find them online. The website, painisbad.com.
I'll humbly submit, but boldly proclaim I'm going to run to be governor of the state of Tennessee. I start an application process now with 7 million people. Ask them to hire me and lay out my resume and what I have done, not just in civilian work and military work, but what I've done in the legislature. Not running against anybody. I'm running against what I think is an embedded establishment politic in Nashville that rather thinks that people like me shouldn't even apply for jobs like this. I think there's a great thirst for liberty in Tennessee, and I think there's a great distaste for a government that's growing out of control, a budget that is growing out of control 59% in the last 6 years. That's not small government. 2 Kings 13 talks about striking the ground with your arrows. I will put my foot many times in each county in the state of Tennessee, and I will empty my quiver into the ground for liberty and less government in Tennessee, because I think we desire for that.
.937 Super Talk 99.7 WTN. Hey, how are you? It's Chris Hand. The show is brought to you by Better Water LLC, water filtration systems, water softeners, betterwater.com. You can listen to us anywhere, iHeartRadio, tune in, the FM dial. You can watch us, YouTube, Rumble, hit like, hit subscribe, share the show with your friends. We appreciate you joining in the show, however you want to join in, whether it's in the chats on YouTube or Rumble, or whether it's the text or the phone lines. Both those numbers are the same, 615-737-9986. Phone lines are open for you, as always. Lots of speculation over the weekend, lots of finger pointing, and a lot of people just want to know what the hell happened to Charlie. What happened to Charlie? People are saying it was Israel. Did you see that over the weekend? I saw that over the weekend. I'll be honest with you. Did Charlie rub some people the wrong way, platforming Tucker Carlson and Dave Smith and the like? Sure. Did Charlie rub some people the wrong way when he said when he asked the question, was there a stand-down order on October 7th? Sure. But to believe that this is an Israel plot, I don't see it yet. I'm willing to let new information change my mind. Happy to. But it would have to be the greatest conspiracy theory ever drawn up and executed perfectly for this to be the case. Because what we're learning about Tyler Robinson, his transgender boyfriend, and the slew of Transtifa members who clearly had prior knowledge of the event online, I have a hard time believing it's Israel. I'm open to debate, though. 615-737-9986. Kash Patel earlier this morning, and I will let me also preface with this. I haven't been impressed with the FBI at all. Like not one bit. It seems like they kept dropping the ball. There was 3 suspects. It seems like the only reason we caught Tyler Robinson is because they finally released the video footage that apparently Kash Patel had to fight to release, and then he got turned in by his dad. It seems like they were dropping the ball. It just does. The FBI's look sloppy. I'm sorry. They don't look good in all of this. But we are learning more about the shooter, the transgender boyfriend, and the Discord chats from Kash Patel this morning.
Going back to the group chats real quick, there's more than 20 individuals. But this is a great point. I want to lay out how this works. People think we can just get in these group chats and immediately find out who's in them. We, the FBI, are the investigatory body supporting multiple prosecutions and ongoing investigations. And that's another point. Our investigation at the FBI is ongoing. And there are scores of people in this Discord chat room. But we have to effectuate legal process. We have to go out there with search warrants so that if prosecutors want to later use this evidence, it's not tainted by being illegally obtained. We, the FBI, are running the investigation pointedly on the Discord chat group. There are scores of individuals that are going to be spoken to. There are also lots of family members and friends that have already been spoken to. And one more point on forensics. We were able to obtain in record time the text message chain between the suspect and his live-in partner, as well as other critical cellular information from our CAS team that analyzes cell phone data towers in the area to pinpoint the locations of the suspect and other individuals he was speaking with. This is critical information that the FBI processed and got to prosecutors so they can lawfully use it in a court of law. And our investigation, our interviews continue, but we've learned some shocking things when we spoke to his family and friends as well.
And we're waiting to learn more from the FBI. In the meantime, while the FBI is gathering their evidence and they have to go by the book, we're learning a lot. Andy Ngo has been doing some fantastic reporting on this, and I don't know if you're familiar with Andy Ngo, but Andy Ngo knows all about Antifa. He's in the Portland and the Seattle area all the time, constantly mugged by Antifa. They've thrown milkshake cocktails at him, which is just like concrete in 2-liter soda bottles just at his face. Like, he's been assaulted, he's been beaten. They know Andy Ngo. He knows Antifa, and he's not backing it down. But he posted a long article about this trans boyfriend, which was confirmed not only by the FBI, but also by Utah Governor Spencer Cox. And Spencer Cox confirmed that on ABC over the weekend. This is what it sounded like with Spencer Cox.
And anything new on the investigation? You say he admitted that, confessed?
No, not again. He has not confessed to authorities. He is not cooperating. But all the people around him are cooperating, and I think that's very important. There were reports yesterday that we can confirm that his roommate was indeed a boyfriend who is transitioning from male to female. That's information that the FBI had mentioned yesterday. We can confirm that as well, and that he is cooperating with authorities as well.
So the boyfriend is cooperating. Okay. How much did he know? Also, Spencer Cox, just me personally, I know Charlie didn't like you. And I know that you're using this as an opportunity to really gain national media attention, and I wish you wouldn't. If you're watching us on YouTube, all it takes is going to the Charlie Kirk Twitter account to find out what he thinks about these people. Let's go back to March 7th, 2022. Utah Governor Spencer Cox should be expelled from the Republican Party. March 6th, 2022. Republican Governor Spencer Cox is refusing to protect women's sports. He's signaling he will pander to the trans lobby to continue destruction of children. Why? He's likely being paid off by Big Pharma, who make billions off hormone blockers and chemical castration. April 7, 2024, Riley Gaines slams Governor Spencer Cox at TPUSA's University of Utah event after his veto of bill barring men from women's sports. Spencer Cox, as much as he's going to really get out there and act like he's one of us, he's not. He's not. He's not. He let this ideology fester in Utah. He's not a friend. I'm not going to go as far to say he's a foe. But there's so many lousy Republicans. I don't want him to get any clout from this. He's not somebody that we should hold in high regard. He's just not. He's an idiot. Got it? Cool. All right, moving on. The transgender boyfriend, Andy Ngo, wrote a lengthy article on the transgender boyfriend of Tyler Robinson, writing, I can report that the roommate and suspected romantic partner of the man accused of assassinating Charlie Kirk is confirmed as trans. On Friday, Daily Mail first identified 22-year-old Lance S. Twiggs. Twiggs lived with the assassin Tyler Robinson in an apartment in St. George, Utah, about 4 hours from Utah Valley University, where Kirk was murdered. Twiggs' social media history remains online, and I've reviewed it to confirm his transgender identity. On the video game platform Steam, where Twiggs is very active, he used the screen name Fluxolotl. According to a U.S. government source I spoke with on the condition of anonymity, that account's prior usernames match those of one on Twiggs' TikTok profiles, Lance Clottle and Lancelot, which displays his face. In December 2024, Twiggs changed his preferred display name on Steam from Lance to Luna. A search for Reddit users connected to his Steam username history revealed a match, Lancelot 3, with the display name Flux. Biographical details on the Reddit account linked up with Twigs. They found everything on this guy. It's already there. And the weaponized autism on the internet is going so hard on this stuff. Again, Kash Patel saying, we need to go by the book. We need to have warrants, and I understand that. But it's already being exposed in real time. November of 2024, Twigs posted about his anxiety with injecting cross-sex hormones, replying to a thread on injection pain. He wrote, seriously, sometimes it's just muscle memory. Sometimes I got to get buzzed on something, so I'm not too anxious about it. So we know this guy. We understand the ideology that is really permeating in this apartment with these two individuals. But did you know that the FBI tried to hide the transgender boyfriend? Oh, what's that? They tried to hide it? That's according to the Daily Mail. FBI tried to hide trans identity of Charlie Kirk's suspect's lover after his chilling four-word response to investigators. The FBI tried keeping the gender identity of trans partner Charlie Kirk's alleged killer a secret because he had been extremely cooperative with authorities. Sources familiar with the case said that Lance Twigs was aghast when confronted by investigators over his alleged lover's assassination plot, saying, oh my God, no. Investigators are looking into whether Kirk's alleged killer, Tyler Robinson, was motivated by his belief that the conservative activist's views on transgender people were hateful. After asking investigators if that's what happened, a horrified Twigs agreed to cooperate and said, here are all the messages, according to Axios. Discord messages sent by the alleged killer, who was listed as Tyler, reportedly mentioned how he had wrapped his rifle in a towel and stashed it in some bushes near Utah Valley University, where Kirk was shot. The sender also said the rifle would have to be retrieved. Utah Governor Spencer Cox said during a news conference, we need to see all these messages. And then we need to find out what was scrubbed in the meantime, because there was a couple days window there before we knew about the transgender boyfriend cooperating with FBI officials where messages may have been scrubbed. Can we find that out? I'm of the opinion that this looks like a Transtifa plot. It seems like there were radical individuals that were just radicalizing this young man who came from a good conservative household. But there's some wild stuff. New York Post reporting, a neighbor claimed 2 weeks ago, several people were seen driving cars with out-of-state plates going in and out. They did not give off good vibes, a neighbor said. And I think it's also important to point out, it was just a few weeks back that we had an ICE officer nearly assassinated at the Prairieland detention facility by these same Transtifa militants. 7 trans people shared a local house that was raided by the FBI in connection with that crime. Washington Post had a clip. It was weird. It was weird enough that 6 or 7 white trans people moved into the neighborhood, said of a neighbor who spoke on the condition of anonymity because of privacy concerns as he glazed over the plywood-covered front window. And now the FBI is raiding their house. Yep. There's transgender accounts all over the internet, too, that you can find. And they haven't been confirmed by any authorities as accurate, but they're floating out there ad nauseum, where you have tweets from 5 days ago saying, you guys, I have something big coming soon. Just be sure to check the news. You'll know it when you see it. And then 4:52 in the afternoon on in the afternoon of September 10th. Well, that's that, quoting the original tweet. Obviously referring to the assassination of Charlie Kirk. I think there's about six or seven, if I recall correctly, different accounts that predicted and celebrated the assassination of Charlie Kirk. So how big is this Transtifa cell? I mean, can we start asking those questions? Is it a left-wing Transtifa cell? I think you can make the argument for that, and I think the argument for that is a lot easier than some of the conspiracy theories on Israel. I just do. I'll let new information change my mind. I'm not against that. But family members of Lance Twigs confirming the relationship. They did live together. This is Wisconsin Right Now reporting this. He's very angry with anyone who is supportive of the conservative ideals and Christian values, alleged a family member of the live-in boyfriend, transgender boyfriend of Tyler Robinson, Lance Twigs. As far as I know, he was not going by another name. I just know he was in the process of transitioning. I know he was trying to take different medications, the alleged relative of Lance, whom the family member had avoided for about 4 years. out of concern over Twig's alleged temperament. You're seeing this stuff all over the place. Spencer Cox is like, don't worry, they're cooperating with us. Oh, they're cooperating. I would be treating them as a suspect personally, would you not? It's just me. Maybe it's just me. Another quote from a family member. I know the reason I had nothing to do with him is he, Lance Twiggs, the transgender boyfriend, is full of evil and hatred, the family member alleged about Lance. While this is extremely shocking, I was afraid he might hurt someone. Things he would say to family members is why they had that belief. For at least 4 years, I haven't talked to him. I didn't want him around my personal family. He's not a healthy person. He's very angry with anyone who's supportive of conservative ideals and Christian values. Don't worry, though. Spencer Cox, the governor of Utah, says that boyfriend is cooperating. Okay. We'll see what happens. We're paying attention to it. What do you think? 615-737-9986. Definitely looking forward to your input on everything, whether it's on the text line or the phone lines. Let's turn the monologue into a dialogue a la Matt Murphy. We'll take some of your calls on the way. This is Super Talk 99.7 WTN. Hey, what's up? It's Chris Hand here, and I got to tell you about my friends over at Cabinet Makeovers. We have had the most beautiful pull-out cabinets installed in my home and in my kitchen. Let me tell you what, they're amazing. My wife loves them too. She has just been giddy about her new cabinets. And this is a family-owned company serving Middle Tennessee for over 45 years, but they do things differently. They inject their faith right into everything they do. And in 2025... I think that we should be doing business with people that align with our values, and this is a company for you. Everything they do is Tennessee made. Every cabinet, pull-out drawer, all wood construction, full extension, soft close glides. The craftsmanship is top-notch. Their team has decades of experience. You can feel it in the work. But again, the difference is when Mr. Dan, the owner of the company, comes over, he's talking to the kids about Jesus just as much as he's talking about cabinets. They don't just stop at kitchens. Cabinet Makeovers designs custom closets, pantries, cabinetry for every room in your house, all built with that same Tennessee pride and biblical values that guide their business. So do what I did. Call Cabinet Makeovers today, 615-331-7010. That's 615-331-7010, or find them online, cabinetmakeoverstn.com.
A note left behind by the Charlie Kirk assassin. Also, Turning Point USA gets a big donation from a grieving widow. That and more coming up here at 10 o'clock on Super Talk 99.7 WTN.
That's Joan Jones in the newsroom. My name is Chris Hand. It is 9:58 on Super Talk 99.7 WTN. Tonight, I'm going to be at a vigil in Murfreesboro, 1500 Medical Center Parkway, the fountains at Gateway. We're all going to be there 7 o'clock. 7 o'clock. There's been some huge ones all over Middle Tennessee. I saw a video during the break. Beverly Hills, California is having a massive Charlie Kirk rally right now, which is incredibly significant outside of Los Angeles. Some of the rallies, like I expected the rallies and stuff, down here in the more conservative parts of the country. But seeing them in Manhattan and Beverly Hills and in all these blue cities, that is very, very heartwarming. Real quick, Brian on the road on Charlie Kirk. What do you got, Brian?
Well, bro, my heart breaks for you. I think a lot of you, I talk to you a lot on this time frame, and I appreciate you. I want you to know that you're my Charlie Kirk, bro.
Oh, man.
I didn't follow him, and I didn't know him. I knew the name because of my children, and their hearts are broken today too. Well, but God gained, and you enlighten us. You give us your full heart, and I appreciate it. I want to do something for you. I want to help pay for your trip, or maybe a meal, or maybe for your parents or something. I want to help you.
Just echo those messages, man. Amplify what Charlie said. Pray. Get to church. Influence others to do that. I think that's all I can ask for. I appreciate you so much. Like it's such a kind offer. Thank you though. But we're blessed, man. We're blessed. Do something for somebody else. That's what I would ask for you to do. But thank you. Thank you. We're all Charlie Kirk today.
Oh, man.
Nobody's going to be able to pick up this flag on their own. There's a lot of conversation. Who's going to replace Charlie? Spoiler alert, no one. It's no one. No one's going to replace Charlie. We're all just going to have to pull together and try and pull the weight that he could do. It's going to be tough, but it's on everybody. It's on you. It's on me. It's on Super Talk. It's on everybody. But tonight, 7 o'clock, the fountains at Gateway in Murfreesboro, 1500 Medical Center Parkway. We'll be there for that vigil. My wife and I, we want to see you there as well. Come out and pray with us. That's what you should do. Just come out and pray with us. 10:01 Super Talk 99.7 WTN.
Good morning. I'm Joan Jones with your top stories, and a big mess in Franklin this morning on 65 southbound right at Cool Springs Boulevard. There's a crash there, and it's 3 left lanes that are blocked off by it, so a huge delay in that area, maybe one you'd like to avoid this morning. Well, there was a note. FBI Director Kash Patel announcing this morning that Charlie Kirk murder suspect Tyler Robinson wrote a note talking about what he was going to do.
We have evidence to show what was in that note, which is, and I'm going to summarize, basically saying, the suspect wrote a note saying, I have the opportunity to take out Charlie Kirk, and I'm going to take it. That note was written before the shooting. Evidence of its existence, we now have learned, existed before the shooting, was in the location in the suspect and partner's home. But we have since learned that the note, even though it has been destroyed, we have found forensic evidence of the note, and we have confirmed what that note says because of our aggressive interview posture at the FBI.
That's on Fox News this morning. Patel also saying that he has a DNA match from a screwdriver and a towel that was used to wrap around the weapon that was found near the university after the shooting. The DNA matches Tyler Robinson. Big announcement from Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent this morning.
We have a framework for a TikTok deal. The two leaders, President Trump and Party Chair Xi, will speak on Friday to complete the deal, but we do have a framework for a deal with TikTok.
Both sides continue their trade talks today. After successfully mobilizing the National Guard in Washington, D.C., President Trump is rolling the troops into Memphis to help fight that city's overwhelming amount of violent crime.
The president is once again escalating his use of the military on U.S. soil. This time, though, he's targeting a Republican state, announcing he's going to be sending in the National Guard to Memphis, saying only he can save the city from crime. The Republican governor is welcoming this deployment, but the Democratic mayor of the city says he doesn't need this, doesn't want it, doesn't think it will bring down crime there.
ABC's Mary Bruce, the widow of deceased billionaire philanthropist Foster Friess, says her husband loved Charlie Kirk and believed in Charlie's vision, so she has donated $1 million to Turning Point USA in his memory. Lynn Friess says that her husband would have been grateful to see how Charlie's legacy is inspiring young Americans to stand up for faith and freedom. That's the latest news. We've got your weather up next. I'm Joan Jones, WTN News.
It's 10:07 on Super Talk 99.7 WTN. My name is Chris Hand. Show's brought to you by Better Water LLC, water filtration systems, water softeners, betterwater.com. You want to join the show, 615-737-9986. 615-737-9986. Mike in Spring Hill. What's up, Mike? How we doing, man?
Hey, Chris, thanks for taking my call.
Absolutely. What do you got?
Yeah, my wife and I, we've been looking at this. We have a lot of questions. I don't think they've tied it to him 100%. Our big question is, they said they found a rifle in the woods or forest. Is that true?
Yes, that was confirmed by Kash Patel. He said it was wrapped up in a towel, right? And they had DNA on it, and they confirmed it to be Tyler's.
So when you look at the video of him running across the roof and jumping down, we don't see a rifle. And when he's running across the field from after jumping off the roof, there's no rifle.
Yep.
So where did that rifle get to the forest? Because in the video, clearly there is no rifle, and you don't see him throwing a rifle off the roof.
I mean, my original thought was that it was broken down, right? That was my original thought. But it was a 30-06 caliber Mauser bolt action rifle. It was discovered wrapped in a towel by investigators in a wooded area following the killing of a conservative leader. I mean, I don't know, dude. There's a lot of questions. There's a lot of questions.
Because,
so you have an issue. You have an issue with not seeing him with the firearm in the video jumping off the roof.
Yeah, I mean, why would he take it out of his backpack, put it together or whatever, and leave it in the forest? That makes no sense. And when you look at their pictures of the guy in the stairway, and then you look at the picture, his nose, and maybe we're way off, but it does not look like the same person if you look at his nose.
So my only thing there would be, okay, well then, how did the father turn him in if it wasn't the right kid?
Yeah.
I mean, like that.
Yeah.
That to me is like a big. If the father didn't turn him in, I think we have a lot more questions today, especially with the official story. Do you know what I'm saying? But
I agree.
Knowing that Utah has the death penalty and you just turned your son in, that's a hard thing to do.
Yeah.
If there was any reasonable doubt in that father's mind, I don't think he does it. And if I'm being perfectly honest with you, if it's one of my sons, I don't think I turn them in for that. I think I say, you're on your own now. Go. You're on the run. Be on the run.
Yeah.
But I don't know if I could turn them in for a death penalty. Could you?
No. Well, no. Or you turn them in, say, all right, take the death penalty off, then we'll turn them in.
Yeah, I don't think that's going to be taken off.
Yeah. And I don't believe for a second his roommate lover didn't know what was going on.
No, absolutely not. That is bovine scatology to the highest order. So I guess my question would be, if you believe that the dad turned him in, you believe that the boyfriend knew something, your only reservation is about the gun?
Yeah. To me, they haven't tied. When you look at the video, and it's like, where's the gun? All right. How did the gun get in the woods if he didn't have it on jumping off the roof? That's our only
I haven't
moment,
seen
what's going on here.
I haven't seen any pictures of the firearm yet.
Neither have I.
So I mean, your guess is as good as mine. But it's interesting. I think no matter what happens, people are going to doubt the official story on this forever. And I think that's just kind of like the world we live in 2025.
Oh yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Conspiracy theories.
Yeah. We'll see. But you're not the only one that's skeptical about that, Mike. I've seen those conversations online all weekend long. That in all the footage, he has no long gun on him. So it's not a rifle that could be hidden in a backpack. I've seen that everywhere. So a lot of people are asking that question: where's the rifle in all the footage? I don't have a great answer for you. I don't. Jerry in Nashville on the shooter. What's up, Jerry?
Yeah, how's it going?
Good, man. How are you?
It's pretty good. Just to touch on what you just said, I think it's hard in this climate and this day and age to not question anything. I think at this point, if you don't question everything, something's wrong. And I just feel like something don't sit well. You know, they say death penalty, but you know, Charlie was a Christian. You think he wants the death penalty? I think they're just trying to. Oh no! Something don't sit right. I don't feel right, and something tells me Israel's behind it. Yeah, I think Israel's behind it. But
okay, why? But no. Don't just hang up, Jerry. Why?
Okay, go ahead.
Why do you think Israel's behind it? Because and I'm just gonna be honest with you, man. You're not the only one who said that online. Like, you know what I mean? Like that theory's been around.
I've been looking into. I've gone down. The last 3 months of my life have been the most eye-opening reality. Once you find out what's going on in this world, it's hard to not lose your mind. You got Christians and supporting Israel in this country, and they do not believe in Jesus Christ. there was a march downtown. Me and my wife was downtown, and these pro-Israel, not these pro-Israel protesters was walking through, and I just asked them, I said, hey, y'all know who y'all with? Because the one with the little yarmulke thing on top of his head. I said, are you going to tell them, do you believe Jesus is your Messiah? And he just stood back. I think it's one of the biggest scams in the world today is that any Christian supports Israel. Charlie did not like the Iran war. He was against it.
Yeah.
Anything.
I know that.
I'm just telling you.
Yeah,
I can't sit here and tell you. I can just feel it.
I mean, but all right, but I feel like you're conflating a bunch of topics, like all into one thing.
It's all tied together.
I get where your head's at, but I would ask you, for Christians,
yes, sir.
Who is better served to be in control of the Holy Land, the Jewish people or Muslims?
And that Holy Land stuff, I don't let it. What's that got to do with what Netanyahu and they've been doing since 1948?
Well, I'm saying
the United States that just Protestants can live.
But what I'm saying is,
where's the business land at?
Can I say something? I'm just saying I can support the Jewish people and not support the Israeli government. I think that those are two different things. I think having the Jewish people, I think having the Jewish people in the control of the Holy Land is a net positive for Christians because we can go visit. We can go visit the places where Jesus walked.
Right. Yeah.
We wouldn't be able to do that if it was.
You can't go over there and get any type of respect from a Jew if you're a Christian or anything. They don't. They look at you like a goat. They look at you like you're a goat. A goyim.
Have you been over there though?
I mean, have you? Nobody has except the rich politicians. You know, they did the New York Canada.
I mean, but I'm saying but you're just spouting stuff, but you haven't experienced it. I don't know if that's true. Like I've seen the posts online. I get it. So
all you gotta do is a little research. Look at the Torah.
But there are Christians. There are Christians that are so anti-Jewish. So is every Christian disrespecting Jews?
I think.
But you know what I'm saying? Like, you're painting with such a broad brush.
Let's say Zionist, because there's some Jews that just like Christians don't know what's going on. They just follow what they're told. I'm talking about Zionists.
Let's hyper focus in on
Jody Barrett. I'm talking about Jody Barrett and Dixon, who's already got money from AIPAC. The same people keep coming on and patting him up like he's this great Republican from the state of Tennessee. He's already got money from AIPAC.
Oh, he didn't get money. He didn't get money.
He got it now, but when he was on your show, he didn't. When he was on the other guy's show the other day, he's already got it. It's public.
Okay, well,
you can't look at the world and say something ain't right.
Okay,
and Charlie was a great person. Israel's behind a lot of stuff.
Okay, but you got to give me more evidence for your theory. Other than Charlie said mean things about Israel, Charlie platformed Tucker Carlson, Charlie platformed Dave Smith. Like, Charlie said a lot of things that made a lot of people mad. Everything that you can say about Charlie and Israel, you can say the exact same thing about Charlie and the trans community.
Well, I can talk about the trans community on every platform I want. I can talk about Egypt, Pizza Hut, Papa John's. I say one thing about Israel and anything on social media, my shit gets took down. My stuff gets took down. You can't talk about them. You can't criticize them. You can't question them.
But I think that's categorically false. If you're saying that Charlie Kirk was,
well,
if you're
saying argue that all day, but you know deep down what I'm talking about.
If you're
saying, what I'm talking about. You tell the people. I can't. It ain't my job to tell them. You tell them what I'm talking about.
Jerry,
you know.
Jerry,
go ahead.
Charlie spoke on all that stuff and he wasn't taken down. People speak on that stuff all the time. Nick Fuentes had 100,000 person live stream the other night. Like,
on Rumble.
Okay, but
you can't do it on YouTube. You can't do it on Facebook. You can't do it on TikTok.
Candace Owens had 100,000 person live stream on YouTube.
And she's kind of wishy-washy. I'd rather stick with Nick Fuentes, but
I'm saying is like you're just. I don't think you're gonna be happy. I don't think you're gonna be happy no matter what.
Yeah, there's some things I'd be happy, but I can't say it on the radio. But I'll just tell you, y'all watch out for Israel. After 5 minutes, why is Netanyahu making a post? A foreign leader making a post about somebody over here. He's over here too much. He's in here too much. They're too involved. Something ain't right. You can't look at it with a pair of normal eyes, Chris, and tell me something's not pulled off with this Israel relationship that we have. It's not.
If Israel is the master of propaganda, right? You don't think that if a trans shooter took out Charlie, a guy who has recently become less and less I don't even want to say like he's less and less pro-Israel, but he's more questioning what's going on. You don't think that they wouldn't use that to their benefit, propaganda-wise, with the amount of pro-Israel messaging that Charlie has out there? Like it's never let a crisis go to waste. It doesn't mean that they killed him.
So I think a lot of people, well, maybe he hadn't realized. I think he had his doubts. He was questioning a lot, and there was a lot going on.
But again, just saying that doesn't mean that the country had him assassinated.
You're right. No, you're right.
I'm just being honest. I've read all these theories. I've spent all weekend diving into these theories, and you're not the only one that has this theory, Jerry. And I'm not mad at you for having it. And I actually respect you calling in and laying it out and telling me how you feel, because I don't think you're the only one feeling that way. I don't. I just don't see the evidence. I just don't. If you believe Israel did it, and then it's like, okay, but then the shooter had a transgender boyfriend. The transgender boyfriend had weird out of state plates visiting them, similar to the Prairieland ICE facility shooting. So I'm immediately thinking Antifa. You see all the transgender individuals online saying that something big's going to happen and then celebrating it after the fact. If it was Israel, it's the best that they could have ever possibly done. The way they planted all these seeds and set all this stuff up. I just have a hard time believing it. I do. 615-737-9986. Let's go to Ken in Smyrna. What's up, Ken?
I just wanted to say I have been to Israel several times, and they're not like that, what that guy was just saying. They don't spit on you. In every religion, you have extremists, and there are Jews that are extreme over there, but Charlie loved Israel. Every video I've ever seen of him, he loved it.
Yeah, there's videos out there that people are pointing to, and I appreciate the call, Ken, and I kind of made the same point. There's videos that people are pointing out again, and they're all out there. You can find them yourself. Where in the immediate aftermath of October 7th, he was questioning how a country the size of New Jersey took them hours upon hours to respond, when it's a 45-minute helicopter ride, from one side of the country to the other. He asked if there was a stand-down order. People were obviously upset about him platforming Candace or Tucker or Dave Smith. I still don't necessarily see if that got him killed. People are mad they're playing the videos where he said that Epstein was either Mossad or U.S. intelligence, saying, see? It's like, okay, but Charlie said a lot of stuff. You say a lot of stuff in 3 hours of radio a day. Like, to take these clips and then put them online and say, this is proof that Israel killed Charlie, you need to bring more to the table than that. Because you can do the exact same thing with transgender and Antifa ideology and clips. Like, the exact same thing. And only one side of this argument is supported by evidence currently. If you have an issue with the evidence, then let's talk about it. I'm open to it. I'm open to new information changing my mind. I just don't see it yet. A lot of people waiting to get in on this conversation. You are more than welcome to join it as well. 615-737-9986 is the phone number to call. 615-737-9986. We'll be back with more of your calls next. It's 1021 Super Talk 99.7 WTN. Hey, what's up? It's Chris Hand here for my friends at Zero Res of Nashville, and I got 4 kids, 2 dogs, and you can imagine what my floors go through. I mean, even this weekend, baseball tournament. Do you know how many times I tell them, take the cleats off outside? Do you know how many times they do it? A lot less. So there's always dirt. There's always baseball dirt. There's always paw prints, mystery stains. Thanks to my 3-year-old. I got a message from my wife earlier today. She's like, just found out we can't dance with applesauce pouches. And it's like, yep, that's right on the carpet. So what do we do? Well, we call Zero Res of Nashville. They use their exclusive ZR water. No soap, no harsh chemicals, no residue, which means our carpets and upholstery aren't just going to look insanely clean. They're going to stay clean longer. So the kids can sprawl on the floor. Dogs can roll around. We don't have to worry about what's in the fibers. It's not just carpets. They do air ducts, tiles, rugs, upholstery, the works. Perfect to get in your house in order when you got family, friends coming through, or when you know you just need a clean. Talk to Zero Res of Nashville today. Give them a call. Have them come clean your carpets. 615-535-9376. That's 615-535-9376. ZeroResNashville.com. All right, so anyway, Canada.
In the unlikely event that you find yourself the victim of a home invasion, we are urging citizens not to take matters into their own hands. But don't engage unless absolutely necessary.
Is that so? Don't take matters into your own hands? Bro, they're in my living room.
We urge you to call 911 and do everything you can to keep yourself and loved ones safe until police arrive, and be the best witness possible.
Oh, be the best witness possible as your wife is being beaten by home invaders. You're being tied up. Just golly, chip in and be a great witness. You know, Superman, and then, you know, you got Bizarro. In Florida, they're like, we're going to shoot you stone cold dead. This is Bizarro, Florida. Is that what Ontario is?
It's close enough.
Details of the Charlie Kirk funeral and memorial, and President Trump calling on NATO countries to get tough. That and more coming up here at 10:30 on Super Talk 99.7 WTN.
1027 Super Talk 99.7 WTN. My name is Chris Hand. Show's brought to you by Better Water LLC, water filtration systems, water softeners, betterwater.com. A lot of people texting in saying, can you explain what Jerry meant? So the theory going around online is that Israel had Charlie Kirk assassinated. That's just the theory going around online. I don't necessarily believe it, obviously. I mean, I just don't see any evidence for it. I see a lot more evidence of a guy who was in love with a transgender man and a lot of radical left-wing trannies knowing about this assassination plot beforehand. That's what I see online. I don't see any evidence that that Israel had anything to do with it. I don't. And the only evidence that people provide are clips of Charlie questioning certain things out of context. That's it. Now there's also some tweets and posts by individuals like Candace Owens, Cernovich, and they're talking about how Charlie was getting into it with his biggest donors. Candace Owens said on X, Charlie Kirk was fighting some very powerful billionaires that he took money from over things he was discussing. The pressure on him was immense over the last 2 weeks. The truth will be revealed, the messages will be leaked, and the movement he built will rise up. Mike Cernovich said Charlie was about to lose his last major donor because he refused to ban Tucker Carlson from events. There are a lot of people shedding crocodile tears. The billionaires must be exposed for the cretins that they are. I don't see any of this finger pointing at Israel, like other than thoughts and theories, but there's no evidence. And spoiler alert, Charlie was always under major pressure from donors about what he was saying. Always. From the time I worked there to after I no longer worked for them. So this is, I just don't see it. I don't see it. If you see it, 615-737-9986. Caleb in Tennessee on the shooter. What's up, Caleb?
Hey, how's it going, my man?
Good, man. How are you?
Doing well. I'm actually shocked to be hearing this discussion on the radio.
I mean, it's the discussion online, so I'm not shying away from it. I just don't see it. You've heard the discussion online, obviously, right?
I have, and I think you're right. There is no hardcore conclusive evidence. I was shocked to hear you name Nick Fuentes, considering he's like the most banned man basically in history online.
I mean, I just talk about things that I know. I mean, he had 100,000 people watching his Rumble live stream in the immediate aftermath of Charlie Kirk. If you're not paying attention to a guy like Nick Fuentes, then you're missing out on where the culture is and could be going. I think that you
Right.
have to keep an eye on this stuff.
I agree. I was going to ask, did you say you worked at Turning Point?
Yeah.
Okay, so are you familiar with Alex Stein?
Yep.
Okay,
Primetime 99, Pimp on a Blimp. Yep, very familiar.
On a blimp, dude. So I think he's funny. I'm a fan of dark humor, but I think especially moving forward as a country, we need to be careful about what we say. And Alex Stein, I don't know if you saw his city council meeting or whatever you want to call it, where he said we should have trans in the military, because I don't know if I can even say what he said on the radio, but basically if they have an urge to leave this,
commit acts of violence, yada, yeah. I'm with you. I'm with you.
Yeah, then we should attach explosives to them and send them out in the military, so at least they're unalive for a good cause. I feel like that rhetoric is how we got to this point in this country, and I'm not just blaming the right, but I don't think there's any room for it.
I'm not going to both sides of this thing. I'm just not. One person was using words and jokes and culture jamming. I mean, that's his style. That's been his style for a long time. Yeah, it's jarring, 100%. Not the route I would take. I still think he's funny, but I'm not going to say that jokes lead to people shooting individuals in the neck. I would before we point at somebody like Alex Stein, I would point more back at our elected officials and members of the mainstream media who have been calling these individuals Nazis and fascists over and over and over again. I think that's much more dangerous than somebody that nobody takes serious like Alex Stein.
I agree. I think both are dangerous, to be honest with you. I mean, I encourage everybody to actually go listen to the clip and see what he said for yourself. I think just as a decent human being, I actually staunchly disagree with transgender ideology, but I would never say something that abhorrent. I think we need to at least acknowledge when jokes go a little bit too far, And that being said, I am a fan of dark humor, but that is beyond dark humor, in my opinion.
I mean, but with dark humor, dude, it's like everything's funny or nothing is funny. Like you can't pick and choose which dark humor you like and which dark humor you don't.
I feel like there's lines, man, but that's just me. We can agree to disagree.
Hey, and I appreciate the call, Caleb. It is 10:32. This is Super Talk 99.7 WTN.
I'm Joan Jones with your top stories. Charges are expected to be filed tomorrow against 22-year-old Tyler Robinson, the suspected killer of Charlie Kirk. Prosecutors say they have DNA evidence and a note he allegedly wrote amongst a mountain of evidence against him. We've got details now about the memorial for Charlie Kirk.
The funeral and memorial for Charlie Kirk is now set for this coming Sunday at State Farm Stadium just outside Phoenix. That's where the Arizona Cardinals play. It's got a capacity of 70,000 people. And President Trump said that he will be there.
That's ABC's Matt Gutman. In the New York City mayoral race, the man who calls himself a Democratic socialist has landed a big endorsement. The governor, Kathy Hochul, is throwing her support behind Zoran Mamdani.
Governor Kathy Hochul has described herself as moderate and a strong supporter of Israel, but says she and Mamdani are united when it comes to stopping Trump administration policies that could hurt the city, like cuts to Medicaid. Hochul was Andrew Cuomo's lieutenant governor, but distanced herself from him after his resignation and allegations he sexually harassed 11 women.
ABC's Sonia Rincon. President Trump and others call Mamdani a communist. President Trump wants NATO countries to get tough on Russia alongside the U.S.
As Russia steps up its aggression, President Trump is raising new conditions for tough sanctions on Moscow.
But Europe is buying oil from Russia. I don't want them to buy oil. And the sanctions that they're putting on are not tough enough. And I'm willing to do sanctions, but they're going to have to toughen up their sanctions commensurate with what I'm doing.
Trump saying he'll sanction Russia, but only if NATO countries do the same.
ABC's Mary Bruce reporting. That's the latest news. Weather is next. I'm Joan Jones, WTN News.
It's 10:39, Super Talk 99.7 WTN. Hey, how are you? I'm Chris Hand. The show is brought to you by Better Water LLC, water filtration systems, water softeners. You get those at betterwater.com. Got a lot of people wanting to join the conversation. 615-737-9986. That's the number to call. You can also jump in on the text line with the same number, or you can find us in the YouTube or Rumble chat. We're always popping in and out of there as well. Tonight, I'm going to be at the Fountains at Gateway, 1500 Medical Center Parkway. We're having a big Charlie Kirk Vigil. The Middle Tennessee, TPUSA, and Club America chapters have organized this, and we're hearing that there's going to be a lot of people there. There's been tons of these vigils all over the country. Really heartwarming to see. I expected this in the conservative states, seeing it in Beverly Hills, seeing it in Manhattan. That's been a just pleasant surprise. Honestly, just heartwarming. And seeing all these people coming out want to live like Charlie. The silver linings over the weekend, fantastic. Church is packed. Content being shared. A lot of people hearing Charlie's message for the first time. It's a blessing. It's a blessing. It was global. It wasn't just limited to America. New Zealand, Australia, South Korea, Great Britain, all having massive rallies celebrating the life of Charlie Kirk. It's really been unbelievable to see. Unbelievable to see. The memorial service got announced. That's going to be next weekend on Sunday at the Arizona Cardinals Stadium. My wife and I are going. We are going to be, we moved mountains to make it happen. My mom and dad are flying in to watch the kids so we can fly out Saturday evening after our boys' birthday party and after the Culture and Christianity Conference to then we're going to fly to Phoenix, get in around 9, 10 o'clock that evening, and then we're going to take the overnight back on Sunday, so that way I'm here to give you a full report on the proceedings Monday morning. So we've got a lot of moving parts, got a lot of people that want to talk. A lot of people really feel it in their heart, what's been happening in this country, and we're opening the phone lines to you guys, 615-737-9986. 615-737-9986. Who's been holding the longest? Let's go with, is it Keen or Ken? Is it Ken? Is it Keen?
It's Keen. Yeah,
it's Keen. Okay. I just wanted to double check before I pulled him on.
Yeah, I'm terrible at spelling. So
I was waiting for him to be like, it's Ken. Are you sure? Keen, what's up, man? How are you?
Pretty good. How about you, sir?
I'm good. What do you got?
Well, I just have a couple interesting comments to make. So one is very sad. This country it's in the root of deception. Like, everything is not as it appears. The paradigm that they paint for us, the right and the left, is mostly a distraction. Some of it is real, especially on the local level. But at the high ups, it's mostly fake. Most people that I was around didn't even know about Mr. Kirk until this whole thing happened. And now everyone's
how old are you? How old are you, man? You sound.
I'm 20.
20. Okay, cool. Keep going.
And now everyone acts like they knew him intimately, which is real sweet. But this is something that pulls on people's heartstrings, and it gets people emotionally involved. And it got me emotionally involved when it first happened. I'm used to seeing false flag events with, shootings that aren't real and stuff like that. But this was something where I saw the shooting. I thought, oh my goodness, I can't believe anyone would have ever done this. This is disgusting. And I didn't look at the footage for a little while because it was so gory and gross. But then someone called my attention back to assess the footage more closely, which is disgusting. No one wants to assess the footage of a murder, but sometimes it's necessary to get to the root of the problem. And, like, for instance, when you see him get shot on the really close-up shots, which there's only a couple of them, which is strange, you see as he falls back, his ring switches from his ring finger to his pinky finger, which means that somebody was playing with the photos a little bit for some reason. His wife is wearing a G ring when she's fondling him over or touching him and loving on him over the coffin, and that G is symbolic of masonry. A lot of the signs he made were Masonic. For instance, he had 347 hats lined up in front of him right before he got shot. And
yeah, because he would take 47 was for the 47th president. I'm sure you're aware. And no, but Charlie takes. Charlie takes stacks of hats with him everywhere. He throws them out into the crowd.
But that's not all of it. There is a lot of it. The shooter doesn't look the same. Like they said, the long arm is weird. It was exactly 33 hours, which is the prime number of the Masonic Lodge. It was exactly 33 hours after he was shot that the suspect was apprehended, and Kash Patel really stressed that. So at first I thought this is terrible, but as I research it, it is some kind of sick, twisted psyop that I don't understand. I don't understand if it's to bring the right closer to the right and stir people up, or if it is something to make us, feel like it'll be fine if we impose no gun laws on.
So just tell me, okay, so if this is a big psyop, what's the goal of the psyop? To get people back in church and loving their country in America?
No, the psyop, in my opinion, is to get people to where they will accept free predictive and policing. Melania Trump already talked about it right after the 2 kids got shot by the transgender person just less than a week ago. Basically, it is for AI governance to an extent, and also predictive policing, where if we say something they don't like, we can be censored on it and actually arrested, which we would have no problem if it was just all the crazy people that were, transvestites and homos and stuff like that. The right would have no problem, the side that would most likely stand up. But if we agree to it,
is he there?
We'll have no problem taking over.
Yeah, I mean, I just listen. I hear what you're saying, Keen, and I would, for a lot of it, I would just say get some help. Like, not even to be rude, I'm just like you're looking way too deep into it, like way too deep. I don't think that it was a psyop to get predictive programming. I think a lot of conservatives are speaking out against that kind of stuff anyway, and would. In fact, when they said that they were going to look at the social media history for visas, Marco Rubio would, I thought to myself, I don't think Charlie would like that. I mean, how long are we going to hold that against a foreigner? They said something mean about Charlie Kirk. Are we going back 20 years, 25 years? Like, I don't see that. I don't see that happening. And I've seen all of the conspiracy videos online. I've seen people talking about the hand signals of security in the back, and I would just tell you, I know those security guys. So that's bovine scatology. Like, my heart goes out to those security guys. I know that the pain that they're dealing with, and I know how long they've worked for Charlie. That's just me. I've seen the theories, though. You're not alone in thinking that. Let's go to Joseph in Hartsville. What's up, Joe?
Thanks, am I on there?
Yeah, what's up?
Oh, hey, this is Joseph. I'm a big fan of yours, and I was listening to you last Thursday, man, and I just wanted to say my heart, prayers go out to you. I'm a police officer in Trousdale County, and I was working the road that day, and I could barely contain myself listening to you because my heart went out for the family, to you, and I just wanted to let you know that. But this is to go back to Jerry and to the last caller that called in. A lot of people are looking at this and trying to find something that's not there. They're conspiracy theorists.
Yep.
Well, if you go back and look at the images of the person in the stairwell, they're the same person. They're trying to find something that's not there. You see the straight leg pants. He has the gun. You can see the imprint of the gun in his leg. And going back to the shooter running, it's a blurry image on the actual rooftop, but you can tell the bag he is carrying has some weight to it. And you cannot tell if there's a gun in that bag, but to me, it looked like there was something sticking out of the top of that bag. And when he dangled off the side of that building and jumped down, he was dragging that bag. Now, been around the guns a long time. German Mauser is going to weigh about, if it's a German Mauser 30-06, it's going to weigh around 8 pounds. 8 pounds naked. So you're looking at, okay, a scope on it and whatever accessories he had on it. So I think people are trying to find something that's not there.
Yeah, no, I hear you, but I don't even necessarily blame people. I mean, you think about what we've gone through in this country, how these institutions have just been shredded, exposed, lying to the American people on so many different occasions, how they've targeted conservatives on so many different occasions. Like the distrust in these organizations doesn't hurt me at all. I just think that it's a product of the times that we're living in.
Yeah, and I just seen on the news just a second ago, or I don't know how true it was, but they got several social media accounts
Yep.
I guess it was Discord that there's several other people they're looking at that possibly knew about this Tyler Robinson's event before it happened.
Yep. There's at that last check that I saw last night, it was 6 different accounts had clearly had prior knowledge of what was going to happen. So that to me, like, but that's like it for me. I'm always like, okay, like the simplest solution is probably going to be the truth, and it seems to me that a lot of these transgender individuals, these Transtifa members, they knew what was coming. I don't know who radicalized who, but it seems like they all had prior knowledge.
Yes, exactly. And I'd say once they start digging into it, they're going to find a whole community of people, because this guy did not seem like. I was hearing a guy used to work for the FBI on I don't know what platform I was listening to the other day, but he was I guess he was, what do you call it? Not a criminal. I guess he was a criminologist or something.
Yeah.
And he was telling what they're looking for. The guy was maybe a loner, disassociated from society, maybe. Well, I was listening to that Tyler Robinson on Facebook when he got accepted into that 4-year college, and he seemed like he was kind of off. Like he seemed like he was just. Something wasn't fully there, and he showed no emotion until his mom said, "Yay!" And then he started showing applause towards it, and it just seemed like
there was something off with him. I'm
with the report.
I'm picking up what you're putting. I'm picking up what you're putting down, Joseph, and I really am. I think that there's a lot of theories out there. And I think that's a product of living in 2025. That's just that's going to come with the territory. But to look at this kid and then blame the Masons or Israel, I'm like, okay. Randy Weingarten is speaking at an event this week. Randy Weingarten, the largest head of the largest teachers union, and the event she's speaking at is Teachers Against Fascists. Okay. Tomorrow, she's speaking at an event, Teachers Against Fascists. You look at the teachers that have been fired for celebrating Charlie Kirk's death. I think there's how many have we seen in Tennessee? It's been insane everywhere. MTSU, Vanderbilt, University of Tennessee, they're all there. Isn't the most likely scenario that even if this kid did come from a conservative family, that he was radicalized at his university? He was radicalized by the leftist ideology that they're pushing. That, to me, makes the most sense. And then when you couple that in with the transgender boyfriend, the transgender individuals who knew about the attack before it happened, according to some Twitter posts, I don't see the clear path to a lot of the theories that other individuals are finding online and saying, this, haha, I got it. I figured it out. I don't see it. Tell me if I'm wrong. 615-737-9986. We'll take more of your calls on the way. It's 10:52 on Super Talk 99.7 WTN.
Did you see these people in Washington, D.C. and their stupid chant?
Black Lives Matter! Black Lives Matter! Black Lives Matter!
So here's why this is dumb. Because Donald Trump sending in the National Guard is to stop the murders. Donald Trump is actually saving lives. Over the last 2.5 years, they have had 561 black people murdered in Washington, D.C. Donald Trump is sending in the National Guard to stop the crime. So Donald Trump is actually saving black lives.
For many of us, generators are becoming a must-have household appliance. From unpredictable weather to surprise outages, it's better to be safe than sorry. Generator Supercenter of Nashville offers fast and easy installations with 24/7 service and monitoring to all brands of generators and expert repairs done right. Our mission is to make owning a backup generator simple and easy. Visit your local store today or check us out online. Generator Supercenter of Nashville. We serve all Middle Tennessee.
All right, drivers in Cool Springs, we've got a stalled vehicle that is blocking the right lane, 65 southbound there at Moore's Lane. Then a crash. This is in Talbot's Corner, north of downtown. It's affecting 65 southbound at Trinity Lane. Charlie Kirk's accused assassin was recognized on group chats. We'll let you hear some of that coming up at 11 on Super Talk 99.7 WTN.
That's Ken Weaver in the newsroom. My name is Chris Hands. Show's brought to you by Better Water LLC, water filtration systems, water softeners, betterwater.com. We're going to be, my wife and I, we're going to be joining the Middle Tennessee Turning Point USA and Club America chapters tonight in Murfreesboro for a Charlie Kirk Vigil. 1500 Medical Center Parkway, the fountains at Gateway. We want to see you out there. Evening of prayer, remembering Charlie, making sure the mission doesn't die. 7 o'clock is when that all kicks off. 7 o'clock. I'm being told that you're going to want to get there early. You're going to want to get there early. We're going to get there early as well. Hope to see you out there. Got a lot of people waiting on the line. They have theories. They've got questions, and we'll take all the calls. I'm not shying away from any of the theories on Charlie Kirk. I just think we can calmly approach them, and I think that the story that we're getting makes a lot more sense than some of the theories. That's just me. But I got people that want to talk about security. I got people that want to talk about Transtifa. We got people that want to talk about the shooter. We got people that want to talk about Charlie Kirk. If you want to get in on the conversation, 615-737-9986, 615-737-9986. We'll be back with more of your calls momentarily after the news with Ken Weaver, which starts right now on Super Talk 99.7 WTN.
Eleven o'clock on the dot. I'm Ken Weaver with your top stories. And again, drivers in Cool Springs, I've got some good news for you. It looks like that vehicle that was stalled blocking the right lane of 65 is cleared. And in the murder case of Charlie Kirk, the accused killer Tyler Robinson is now an inmate in jail. Here's ABC News Chief National Correspondent Matt Gutman in Utah with details on how Robinson was identified.
According to the New York Times, those images were also recognized by acquaintances of the suspect in a group chat on a messaging app. Several of the group members apparently joking with the alleged shooter about how he resembled the person in the photos. The messages described by the Times reportedly show one user tagging the suspect's username and asking, "Where are you at?" with a skull emoji. Suspect quickly responding that the man in the picture was his doppelganger and that people were trying to get him in trouble.
Well, the funeral and memorial for Charlie Kirk is now set for this coming Sunday at State Farm Stadium just outside Phoenix. That's where the Arizona Cardinals play. Got a capacity of 70,000 people, and President Trump says he's going to be there. President Trump moving forward with plans to send troops to Memphis. Governor Lee's all for it, but Democratic Mayor Paul Young says he doesn't need this, doesn't want it, doesn't think it's going to work.
I do not support the National Guard. However, they are coming. It's not the mayor's call. The mayor doesn't have a say or the authority to stop them from coming. And so my goal is to make sure that as they come, that I have an opportunity to work with them to strategize on how they engage in this community.
Way over our heads, toxic fumes are reportedly making their way in the cabins of airplanes more often. According to the Wall Street Journal, since 2017, maintenance requirements on some Airbus A320 aircraft were loosened and may have led to pilots and flight attendants getting exposed to the fumes. According to the Journal, about 10 pilots and more than 100 flight attendants have been treated with brain injuries over the last 2 decades. We get more from ABC's Gio Benitez.
On most planes, air is pulled in from the outside through engines. So if any seals are worn or degraded, oils from lubricated bearings enter the air and vaporize heat, releasing unknown quantities of toxic compounds, according to the Wall Street Journal report. But not all smells or vapors are toxic. The FAA telling us they are rare. Quote, studies have shown cabin air is as good as or better than the air found in offices and homes.
And the Fed, when it meets this week, widely expected to cut interest rates by 0.25%, meaning it gets a little bit cheaper to borrow money. Think lower credit card APRs, less expensive car loans. This can also impact mortgage rates, which have been moving lower in anticipation. The average 30-year fixed rate mortgage hit its lowest level since 2024 earlier this month. That's the latest news. Weather's next. I'm Ken Weaver, WTN News.
Show's brought to you by our friends at Better Water LLC. Love those guys. Grab yourself a water filter, betterwater.com. You can listen to us anywhere, iHeartRadio, tune in, the FM dial. You can watch us. Super Talk TV is up and running. Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, Twitter, Rumble. YouTube and Rumble are the big ones. Hit like, hit subscribe. We appreciate when you do so. Share the show with your friends. There's a share button on every platform. Help us grow the digital footprint of this radio station to as big as it can possibly be. We can't do it without you guys. Thank you for watching, as always. CNN, they have no idea why or how or what motivated the shooter. None. Okay. I think we can all pretty clearly figure it out. I mean, written on the bullets was, "Hey, fascist, catch." But one CNN commentator said, "What difference does it really make?"
I heard the congressman on there saying, "Oh, we need to tone down the rhetoric." Well, will the rhetoric get toned down? I mean, again, I go back to what was on the bullet from this kid was fascism, and that's only coming from one side currently in this debate, and it's on every placard and every poster around the country. I mean, I think it's a valid question, but are they going to live up to what they say they're going to do with the Nazi and the fascism and the like?
Do you no, I don't think we know, just to be clear, I mean, just law enforcement people, I don't think we know the meaning of his message.
We have no idea.
We know his history.
Bella Ciao is an anti-fascist thing. It says fascists catch this.
Then I'll give you his history. Then I'll give you his history, right? Think about his history. His history, but this is not the.
Why are we debating that? This is what I'm
that's why I wanted to tell you.
This
was my point, not yours. This was my point, not yours.
I'm speaking. That's what you just did.
This is my point, not yours.
Who cares?
A lot of people care. A lot of people care. A lot of people see the violence coming from one side and one side only. What are we, 3 months removed from Tesla's being firebombed? It's like, what? 3 months? We're a little over a year from the second assassination attempt against the candidate for president at the time, Donald J. Trump. Who cares? Who cares? We care. We care. President Trump put the blame on the left and only the left. Saying so yesterday. He was getting off Air Force One, or getting on, whatever the case may be, where he was coming or going, who knows. But he blamed the left, and Donald Trump is absolutely right. The left will try to say, well, there's rhetoric on both sides, and even some Republicans are like, well, even the president needs to tone down his rhetoric, and that miss me with the bovine scatology. This is the president.
Well, the problem is on the left.
Yep.
If you look at the problem is on the left. It's not on the right, like some people like to say on the right. The problem we have is on the left. And when you look at the agitators, you look at the scum that speaks so badly of our country, the American flag burnings all over the place, that's the left. That's not the right.
He's 100% right. 100% right. So where do we go from here? Where do we go from here? I mean, the internet theories are running crazy. I tend to think that Stephen Miller was closest to being on point when he said we need to go investigate all of these leftist networks. We need to investigate Antifa. We need to investigate the Soroses of the world, all of these left-wing organizations that are funding this radical ideology. And I think that this is our path forward.
And let me tell you something I'd not share with anybody, but the last message that Charlie Kirk gave to me before he joined his creator in heaven was he said that we have to dismantle and take on the radical left organizations in this country that are fomenting violence. That was the last message that he sent me before that assassin stole him from all of us. And we are going to do that under President Trump's leadership. I don't care how. It could be a RICO charge, a conspiracy charge, conspiracy against the United States, insurrection, but we are going to do what it takes to dismantle the organizations and the entities that are fomenting riots, that are doxing, that are trying to inspire terrorism, and that are committing acts of wanton violence. It has to stop. And my message is to all of the domestic terrorists in this country spreading this evil hate, you want us to live in fear? We will not live in fear, but you will live in exile. Because the power of law enforcement under President Trump's leadership will be used to find you, will be used to take away your money, take away your power, and if you've broken the law, to take away your freedom, Sean.
I'm here for it. And I think there's a lot of transgender individuals that need to be swept up in that RICO investigation, because I think that the shooter, the alleged boyfriend, the transgender individual, and all the friends that knew about it online, they need to be questioned and they need to be charged. That's me personally. And then the left-wing think tanks who are still going to be running events this week. Teachers Against Fascists, Randy Weingarten she's speaking at Teachers Against Fascists tomorrow. This kind of stuff needs to stop. She should resign in disgrace. A lot of people want to weigh in on the conversation. 615-737-9986. Whatever you want to talk about, we can talk about it within the realm of Charlie Kirk. Let's go to James in Lebanon, who's been holding for a minute. Appreciate you holding, James. What do you got?
All right, Chris. I think if you go back to 2013, Obama's National Defense Authorization Act, where he stripped out the Magna Carta and removed the 1948 Smith-Mundt Act from the Federal Registry, which was our only legislative protection against the media propagating us, you can make a strong argument that the fourth branch of government, the intelligence and spy agencies, are conducting mass psychological operations on the American people. And the proof is we're all being socially re-engineered. That kid that called in earlier, who was just intellectually unsound and lacked all critical thinking skills, his answer to this political murder, which people are trying to normalize, is, oh, we should speak less. We should have less free speech events.
Yeah.
And that is exactly what they want. That is exactly what they want. They want to normalize political murder. They want us to give up our firearms, give up our free speech and stop talking and go in the house.
Yep.
You can make a strong argument for that.
Yep.
And also you can use that to tie it to the same symbiote, which is the CIA and the Mossad. I guarantee you this popped up on the radar, but they didn't do anything to prevent it.
I mean, I said this to a friend the other day. Well, actually, no, I said it to my wife, my best friend. So I said it to her. I said, I think we're a press conference away from the FBI saying that he was on our radar. And I do. I honestly believe that we're a press conference away from that, and it's gonna infuriate me to no end. That being said, do I believe that intelligence agencies are infiltrating American media? Yep, 100%. Tulsi Gabbard just a few months ago confirmed the existence of Operation Mockingbird and said it was still active. Like, we've seen it time and time again. There was a young woman, though, who had a video go viral over the weekend talking about exactly what you're talking about, the Smith-Mundt Act. And Donald Trump reposted that on social media. So he's aware of it, at the very least. He's aware of it. But I'm with you. I think that we've been lied to for a long time, and I think that it only helps fuel this confusion that we're dealing with currently.
Yeah, I agree. And I think that you have a great voice and a powerful voice, Chris. I think you're number one in the country in talk radio. I think that I'd like to hear more guys like you come out and say, hey, this is what we need to do. This is how we combat it. Because not enough people are tracking that this is a mass propaganda campaign by the fake, corrupt news media. They are just lying deliberately to us. Yeah. They're trying to normalize all of this. I mean, we legalized gay marriage. Now look where we're at with the LGBTQAI plus community.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Say an apology to anybody who was preaching about the slippery slope and was discounted.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. No, you're absolutely right. I mean, listen, we're up against, and I appreciate the call, man. We're up against it with these powerful entities and groups, like 100%. Like, I'm not discounting that at all. People listen to them a lot less now, though. And I think that currently the gray area that we find ourselves in isn't really what the left is saying. I think everybody knows that what the left is saying is BS. Oh, we have no idea what the motive was. I think the gray area that we need to lean into and discuss and talk about is going to be these theories online. That's where the conversation's happening. It's not happening on ABC's nightly news. It's not happening on CNN. It's not even happening on Fox. Like, the American people are having the conversation online. So this is why, like, earlier I had a guy who was like, I couldn't believe you brought up Nick Fuentes. And it's like, but why wouldn't I? If my job here is to bring the discussion that the American people are having and have it with you guys, then we have to bring up these theories. We have to bring this stuff up. We got to talk about it. Otherwise, It's not going to go away. Cindy in Lebanon, you're next on Super Talk. What's up, Cindy? Thanks for holding as long as you did. I appreciate you.
Oh, you bet. Thanks for taking my call, Chris. You pretty much touched on what I was going to call about. I was just wondering if there's a way that all these Antifa people that were aware of what was going to happen, if they can be held responsible in any way.
Yeah, I mean, I think you would go RICO, right? I think that would be that you would charge them as a group, especially if you knew about it and you did nothing and then you celebrate online. I think
Right.
I think you're an accomplice at that point.
Yeah, that's why I was just wondering. So hopefully, they'll I guess, be accountable.
Yeah, I'm with you. And I wouldn't even, and this is just me, I'm angry, so take it with a grain of salt. I wouldn't just stop at the people that were talking about it online. I'd go after their friends, too. I'd go after anybody that shared this ideology. It needs to be stamped out. It needs to. We need to criminally charge every single person that came into contact and spread this vicious ideology and shared these feelings with the shooter. It's not going to stop anytime soon. My biggest fear is that this gets worse before it gets better. That's just me. Let's go I'm going to put Mike back on hold because that is loud, Mike. Let's go to Sherelle in Tennessee. What's up, Sherelle?
It's Cheryl, but
Cheryl,
that's okay.
sorry. What
That's
do you got?
okay. Hey, a long-time listener, but a first-time caller. I was just calling to about the security there.
Yeah.
If there was any extra security, or is it just normal security, or what?
I mean,
within the campus and Charlie Kirk's security.
So this is just from me watching the videos, okay? Full disclosure, like that this is just me and my own observations. Look like the exact same security. I don't have the heart. I don't have the heart to ask the guys over there what the security procedures were like at this time. I think that we'll get there in the conversation, but I haven't felt that it was appropriate.
Well, that's totally understandable. I understand that.
But watching the videos, anybody can do this. It's not like I have a special skill. You watch the videos. It appears that it's the same security that they always have. That was my gut reaction. They've done these hundreds upon hundreds of times. Almost where it's like maybe it was lax because you've just done so many. Maybe, but I don't even want to put that on those guys. I think that the security team holds themselves to a high standard. I know all those guys. It hurts me when I see the videos online, especially like there's some conspiracy theory videos that like I'm not going to get upset about. Like obviously the Israel one was going to happen. Obviously you're going to have the Masons and that pops up every shooting, right? But the security ones, that one hurts my soul because it's like I know the guys that are on that security detail. They've been with Charlie for the longest time, and I can only imagine how heartbroken and personally responsible they feel. And I think that out of all the theories, that one hurts the most. But
I understand.
I think it was the same. I think it was the same level of security, though, to answer your question. And I would be the first to tell you if new information changed my mind. Let's go. I got time for one more. George in Middle Tennessee. What do you got?
Hey, man. Can you hear me all right?
Yes, sir. What do you got?
So I was calling in. I was listening to that 20-year-old kid. Can't remember what his name was, but he was talking about the Masons and stuff. That the ring on her finger is not Mason. They don't do giant diamond G's on their rings. And I say that because I have family that are Masons. I'm not a Mason. But that's definitely not. The Masons have nothing to do with this. And my heart goes out to you, brother, and his family and everything. I've reached out to you on X before.
Thanks, man. I appreciate you. I mean, listen, like the Masons and the Israel stuff, it's like, and I appreciate the call, George. I knew that stuff was coming. Like you can almost predict the conspiracy theories at this point. But I mean, I don't want to like shy away from it because then people think like, oh, you're covering it up. It's like, no, we could talk about it. I just think that what we're being presented in front of us is probably the most likely scenario. Just me. I could be wrong. And I do reserve the right to let new information change my mind. And if new information does change my mind, I'll be the first to tell you. Because I got nothing to hide. So I want whoever was responsible for this held responsible for this. As of right now, what it looks like to me is radical Transtifa members and a plot. That's what it looks like. We'll see what happens. This is all going to shake out in due time. And we'll bring you the latest right here on Super Talk 99.7 WTN.
Murfreesboro police asking anyone who witnessed that shooting at Old Fort Park, a man firing into a crowd of people, including adults and children. Anyone who witnessed that, you're asked to call Murfreesboro detectives. They're trying to find a motive. They do have a suspect. We'll tell you more at 11:30 on Super Talk 99.7 WTN.
I don't know if that actually happened there, Ken, because if you notice, they have a sign out front of the park that says firearms aren't allowed.
Oh, well, then it couldn't have happened there.
Yeah, I think that might be fake news. I'd double check.
Yeah, we better get on that.
The one thing I know is that those signs save lives.
Let me tell you something.
Sure about that?
Let me tell you something. Bad dudes obey the signs.
That's true. We've seen that so many times.
Yes.
And like anytime they do like a gun turn-in program, I tell you what, it's the bad guys that line up first.
Yeah. And those signs, huge deterrent.
Yeah.
Huge deterrent.
It works. What a joke. Sorry. We went way too far on that. It's just like, what are we doing? I go to that park and I'm always like, oh, gotta leave my gun in the car because of the sign.
Yeah.
And it's like, why? You wouldn't want me there armed?
Right.
If something bad happened?
Exactly.
Do you know what I mean? Like, it doesn't make any sense to me. It never made any sense to me, but
this guy apparently just pulled up and started shooting.
It was a family reunion, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Into a crowd of adults and children.
Yep.
So the sign didn't work.
Damn. Maybe they need another one. Or a wood chipper to send them in feet first. Hey, to each their own. 615-737-9986. If you want to join the conversation, 615-737-9986. Let's go to Dave in Smyrna. What's up, Dave?
What's going on, man? It's your favorite Hebrew.
Oh, what's up, dude? How are you?
I'm good, man. Long time no talk. But, I read an article in the Federalist on Friday about the connection, and I've known for a while about the connection of the Weather Underground and Ayers and Dorn, and
yes.
People scratch their heads about, well, how can this happen?
But for starters, people don't even know what the Weather Underground is. I mean, it's been memory hold to such an extent. During the 70s, it was a radical leftist group that was bombing their political opponents.
Yeah, it was a domestic communist terrorist group.
And if I recall correctly, and you correct me if I'm wrong, because I know you're up to speed on this. Wasn't it Bill Clinton that pardoned one of the Weather Underground leaders?
It was Andrew Cuomo in New York pardoned Chesa Boudin's dad.
Yep. Okay.
They were involved in that Brinks robbery.
Yep.
They killed 2 cops and a security guard.
Yep. Knocking off a bread truck.
In addition to planting nail bombs at Fort Dix that thankfully didn't go off. But these are the people that write curriculums that are taught in education departments in universities and colleges all across this country.
Yep.
And these people are filtered out at every level from K through college to indoctrinate kids. It's beautiful in its simplicity, and it's insidious on every level. Yep. And it's the long play, but you wonder how political violence has been normalized. Look at the people who are literally writing the curriculum to teach future teachers.
Yeah. I mean, it's all so biblical, right? Like, it's a spiritual war. What were we reading? Daniel and the Lion's Den last night with the kids? And it's the king...
I've been saying to my friends, I'm not Christian, but I know that parable.
But the king trained him up, and he only needed 3 years to train up those guys and make sure that they were falling in line. It's like, think about what they're doing with our kids over 12, 15 years.
Well, there's a famous quote from, I think it's Lenin, give me 4 years to teach the children, and the seed I've planted will never be uprooted.
Yep. Yeah. It's the left. It's always been the radical left.
It always has been.
I know.
It always has been.
Yep.
It's about the sovereignty of the individual versus the supremacy of the state, and it's always going to be that when you boil it down to its very essence. It's always going to be that.
And that's why like with the conspiracy theories that I'm seeing, either if the security was involved in it, the Masons were involved, Israel was involved. I'm like, guys, the most simple explanation that makes the most sense is sitting in front of us.
It's Occam's razor. But you had to predict that the Mossad did it, get the hell out of here with it. Miss me with that too.
Yeah, I hear you, man. I appreciate the call as always, Dave. Call back.
Good to talk to you, Chris.
Yeah, good to talk to you too. Call back again soon, all right? I mean, it's no mystery how Charlie Kirk's murderer, his assassin, was radicalized, okay? They have been training to make you think conservatives are fascists. It's not just the teachers. It's not just mainstream media. It's all the thought leaders inside the Democrat Party. Western Lensman on X put this together.
Let me ask you tonight, do you think Donald Trump is a fascist?
Yes, I do.
Oh, that was Kamala Harris. Maybe you've heard of her. There's more.
The spread of the lawlessness and the fascist chaos that's been unleashed against us.
So when we say Donald Trump is a fascist, fascism, a huge component of fascism is uniting racism, bigotry, a form of racist nationalism.
This is a racist. You're now living in a fascist dictatorship.
Country. We are worried about potential rise of fascism in this country. We're worried about our democracy falling to an authoritarian and potentially fascist form of government.
Not only to roll over to Donald Trump's will, but to roll over our democracy and allow him to take over this country as a fascist dictator.
When fascism isn't just coming, it's already here.
The former...
I mean, we could go on and on and on. And on and on and on. All of these individuals are responsible for Charlie Kirk's death. All of them. They won't be held accountable the same way these Transtifa members will be, but they hold just as much guilt. Got a lot of people that want to weigh in on the conversation. We're skipping the lightning round. I'll be honest with you, we're probably skipping the lightning round for like the next week or so, and then we'll get back to more fun stuff when we can. But we'll take more of your calls on the way. 615-737-9986, 1131, Super Talk 99.7.
I'm Ken Weaver with your top stories, and we have picked up a crash in Williamson County. It looks like the car has gone off the road, so everybody's going to be there on the right shoulder of 65 southbound right before Murfreesboro Road, exit 65. And then north of downtown, still working that crash on the right shoulder, 65 southbound at Trinity Lane. Full forecast coming up in 5 minutes. ABC News has some of the 911 calls made immediately after Charlie Kirk was assassinated. The calls revealed the panic that erupted after he was shot while talking to attendees at that event at UVU.
The Kirk speaker at UVU just got shot in the head.
What's the address?
UVU.
And what happened?
He's a speaker, famous guy, Speaker Kirk.
Where
he just got shot in the middle of his speech. I'm in the parking lot. Everybody's running. The whole UVU is running.
Okay.
He just got shot.
Meanwhile, the suspect, Tyler Robinson, in jail, reportedly not cooperating with investigators. And now we know when everyone can pay their final respects.
The funeral and memorial for Charlie Kirk is now set for this coming Sunday at State Farm Stadium just outside Phoenix. That's where the Arizona Cardinals play. It's got a capacity of 70,000 people. And President Trump said that he will be there.
Right now in Middle Tennessee, this father of 2 young children was at the park in Murfreesboro when a man opened fire on a group of adults and children Saturday.
Leaving the park, it felt kind of a letdown to the community more than anything, because it's a place for family, and it stinks that happened.
Detectives arrested Tavarius Chambers as the shooter, they say, showed up at the park dressed in all black and wearing a mask, injuring 2 people. One of the victims apparently shooting back in self-defense. This was at Old Fort Park, and apparently a pavilion there had been rented for a reunion. Murfreesboro police asking anyone who witnessed that shooting to contact detectives. That's the latest news. Weather's next. I'm Ken Weaver, WTN News.
So we got Gavin Newsom out here doing his absolute best to try and intimidate MAGA.
I'm sorry. I know some people's sensibilities. I respect and appreciate that. But right now, with all due respect, we're walking down a damn different path. We're fighting fire with fire, and we're going to punch these in the mouth.
You know, it's funny. I can't think of one person that's actually intimidated by Gavin Newsom. Okay. I stand corrected. That Chinese kid looked pretty intimidated. It's 11:39, Super Talk 99.7 WTN. Hey, how are you? My name is Chris Hand. The show is brought to you by Better Water LLC. Water filtration systems, water softeners, betterwater.com. Why would we need a water filter?
I don't like them putting chemicals in the water that turn the friggin' frogs gay.
Betterwater.com. It's a reason. It's funny again.
I needed that.
I needed that too. I was wondering how soon in the show we should do it.
It's good.
We needed that. That's just personally for me and Mason. After the heaviness of the broadcast these past few days, we need a little. Yeah. Who doesn't need a gay frog?
Oh yeah, and especially since we're not doing the lightning round, make it a little levity to the hour.
Just don't arm those frogs.
Just don't.
Just don't arm
just have them read the sign.
Fair. If those frogs could read, they'd be very disappointed.
If those kids could read, they'd be very upset.
615-737-9986. If you want to join the show, 615-737-9986. Got a lot of people waiting to weigh in. Let's go to Jeremiah in Clarksville. They had a huge Charlie Kirk Vigil yesterday in Clarksville. Or was it Cookville? I mess up the Vills. I think it was Cookville. Jeremiah, what's up, man? It doesn't matter. What's up, Jeremiah?
Good afternoon, gentlemen. I appreciate all that y'all do and say. I've just got two comments. It's no surprise that this shooter has clammed up. His daddy was a law enforcement officer for 27 years. He advised his son to keep his mouth shut. Number two, I seen the aggression begin in the transgenders over a year ago when they were trying to force Americans to change their vocabulary based on how we were supposed to identify them, them, they, whatever. Most of our young men are lost. They have no testosterone. Yep. We need to figure out a way to save them kids and bring them on over to the other side and get ready for some serious combat. These folks ain't joking. When they're killing ours in broad open daylight for no reason, it's time for combat, man. God bless all of you, man.
God bless you, Jeremiah. And I pray that we don't devolve into combat. I think the response that we've seen from conservatives has been the response that Charlie would have wanted. We haven't burned down any major cities. There hasn't been any looting or rioting. I think people are angry enough that they could do that if they had wanted to, but they chose not to. Instead, you know what we did? We went to church on Sunday. I think that's far more powerful. We've been talking in this country for so long about how we fix it. And the way to fix it is a heart change. It's not going to be a politician. It's not. Trump is awesome. Trump is awesome, but Trump is the Seth Gruber was at my church a couple weeks back, and he said Trump is the tourniquet. That's what Trump is. Trump is here to make sure that we don't bleed out, and that this movement doesn't die. But he's not what's going to fix it. What's going to fix it is a heart change. And I think that we started to see that over the weekend. That's the silver lining in all of this. Seeing how far the message of the gospel has been spread globally because of Charlie Kirk in the last 3-4 days. It's been unbelievable. It's been unbelievable. I think that's the big takeaway. That being said, yes, absolutely keep your head on a swivel. Yes, absolutely keep yourself armed and trained. Yes, absolutely do whatever it takes to protect your family. And sometimes that looks different. I'll tell you what, people have been digging in on the Facebook pages of the transgender shooter and family members. And one of the things that I saw, which was, it's dark, but it's this picture of the shooter maybe 12 years ago. December 2013. This is 12 years ago. The shooter and the mom posted this picture. It said, Amber Jones Robinson. Almost forgot Tyler. He can totally avoid us now that he got all the computer accessories he's been wanting. Smiley face. Guys, I'm warning you. And I have said this so many times. Do not give your kids unfettered access to the internet. Don't do it. Don't do it. That's where the radicalization starts. And there is no way, even if you are a hawk of a parent, there is absolutely no way that you are going to be able to monitor every message, every chat, every interaction that happens with your child on the internet. Please don't give them unfettered access to the internet. Like, for the love of God, don't do it. I understand that kids are going to need ways to communicate with their parents, and you got clubs, and you got activities, and you got this, there's options. There's options. We got my daughter, who's 11, a Bark Watch. She can only call the numbers that we program in. It's not an advertisement for those guys. I'm just telling you what we did because we were in the same position. Like, she's got choir, and she's got her church groups, and she's got things that she's doing and places that she's going, and she needs to be able to get in contact with mom and dad. I understand that. I do. That is so different from unfettered access to the internet. And when I see this picture of Amber Jones Robinson, the mother of Tyler Robinson, 12 years ago, on Christmas Day, just celebrating that the son can become a recluse and avoid the family and live on the internet. That's where the radicalization started. Make no mistake about it. That's where it started. And in every case with all of these transgender individuals, the same starting place is the internet. We can blame the schools, and they deserve a hell of a lot of blame. Make no mistake about that. But it starts on the internet. Don't just, whatever you do, get your kids offline. Golly, get them offline. All right, let's see who's been holding the longest. Let's go to Justin in Chattanooga. What's up, Justin?
Hey, Chris. How are you guys holding up?
We're good, man. How are you?
Man, it's been an emotional roller coaster for me. When it happened last week, man, it felt like a gut punch. And I felt broken. And I didn't know what to be more sad about. Was it, the attack on free speech? That, someone who was standing up for what they believe in was gunned down? Or was it the fact he was a father and a husband, and those two kids and his wife were present there?
Yep.
And, I'm not a big person in the church. I haven't been since I got groomed by my youth group leader. And seeing that demonstration of faith through all that, I mean, if he could do all that, and recently I've been praying heavily, and I've had some, blessings from God come my way. But I think after this, I think it's opened me up to forgiving the church and, getting back in God's good graces, because I haven't been there for a long, long time.
Oh, man, I'm grateful for you calling in and sharing that with us. Like, for starters, that takes.
This is the first time I've talked about it, really. I mean, I text in all the time, but I'm a first-time caller. Love you, Ken Weaver. Keep it up, brother. But yeah, like I'm shaking right now just talking about it. But
yeah, but I mean, I think it's important though to not let the evil and the darkness of what happened to you early in life keep you away from the goodness and the light of the Lord. I think that's important, and I think it's beautiful. This is getting you back towards a relationship with God. I think you can find a good church, man. I think that you should try a few out, sample it, see what you like. I'll tell you personally, for me, I was raised Catholic, and I ran away from religion for many, many years. And it was because when I was about to get confirmed, I was outside of Boston. That's where I grew up, and the Catholic church scandal broke, and I was raised Catholic. And I remember distinctly thinking, if that's what they're about, I want nothing to do with them. And then it was years later, and it was like that same darkness brought me back to the Lord when I'm on the internet and you're learning about what's happening to all of these kids. You're seeing how satanic the media industry has gotten, the music industry has gotten, and what's happening to like these child actors. And that darkness that drove me away from the Catholic Church was the same darkness that drove me back to Jesus. And I didn't go back to the Catholic Church. But to each their own, and there are good Catholic churches out there, and I know good Catholic priests. Shout out to Calvin Robinson. But I feel you, man. But don't let that darkness keep you away.
No, it's like we've started looking at churches since moving here. We think we found a good one, but and I was willing to go because it's important for my wife, and I think it's important for my daughter, given just the bankruptcy and immorality there is today. And
yep.
But I didn't want to be with the church. I just wanted to go there because all my defensiveness and my the walls I put up to defend myself against it, from the trauma, it makes me it makes me it's hard for me to get involved with it when that happened, and I'm talking to therapists about it and whatnot, but I think I'm at my point where I can take that, that baby step into it, get involved, and be there again. Not just, for my daughter and my wife, but, also myself as too, because.
Dude, the more that you get close to the Lord, the better a husband and a father you're going to be. So you're doing all this for the right reasons, man. Keep going. Keep going and stay in touch. Shoot me a text on the text line, and we'll trade numbers. Stay in touch, all right?
I mean, yeah, that's cool, man.
All right. I appreciate you sharing your story, Justin. Thanks so much. We got a lot of people that have been hanging on the line. Let's go to Mike in Nashville. What's up, Mike?
Hey, listen, Chris. Hey, man, I know you got a personal interest in this situation, but let's be honest about this deal here, man. You expect me to believe that a 22-year-old kid, this guy here has no prior military experience. You say that you have experience with firearms. I have experience with firearms. You mean to tell me that you think that this punk kid, can fire a gun from a 200-yard distance and hit a man in his jugular vein, pinpoint accuracy, and you don't think there's something strange about that? You don't think that a 22-year-old kid is capable of doing something like that?
Well, okay, for starters, you're assuming that he was aiming for the jugular. Okay?
Yes, he was aiming. He only fired one shot.
Okay, but your assumption is that he was aiming for the jugular.
Yes, it is.
Not that he was aiming for a headshot, and not that he was aiming for center mass. So you're already operating from a standpoint of knowing more than we know in the public, right? Like nobody's confirmed that he was aiming for the jugular, right? He fired one shot. He's staring through the scope, and he sees Charlie get hit, and he moves out. Why does it have to be a conspiracy, Mike?
Did I say it was a conspiracy? I said
no. You said you didn't answer my question.
I said, do you think a 22-year-old is capable of that?
And I asked you, where did you hear he was aiming for the jugular? The only person I've heard that from is Mike in Nashville. The consensus is that he was either aiming for a headshot, and because of the distance, the bullet went down, or he was aiming for center mass, and there's also theories out there that it hit a bulletproof vest and ricocheted upwards.
Okay, well, you're going to answer my question. Where did the boy get the experience with the fire a weapon? Where is this experience? Where is the experience that the schooling that he learned how to shoot the gun?
I'll be honest with you, Mike. I'm not a firearm expert. I train, I carry, and I like guns. I respect guns. I'm not your firearms expert. But I've seen a lot of takes from a lot of firearm experts who say just a little bit of training, you can do that.
Okay, then. Well, he'll be the one that go down for, like I say, it's not a conspiracy. He'll be the one that goes down. They said the same thing about Kennedy, and we found out he wasn't the man that shot him either. So that's basically the way I'm thinking. He'll be the one. He'll be the one that go to jail, but he's not the one that did the shooting.
Okay.
And I think for taking my
No, Mike, don't hang up. Don't hang up. You can't just do that. Who do you think did it? Who do you think did it?
I don't know who the hell did it. I don't work for the FBI.
But if you got Mike, you know it was a Mike, and I love you, man. You call in all the time. But if you know it was pinpoint accuracy, he was aiming for the jugular. Okay, who did it? If you know all that, Mike, all we're doing is speculating.
Ask Tash Patel and Dan Bongino. They the ones that they got the information. I'm not in Salt Lake City, Utah.
Okay, but
I'm in Nashville.
But bro,
I'm just telling you, Chris. You still haven't explained to me how a guy, a 22-year-old kid, can have that type of, whether he was aiming for the head or aiming for the jugular, he still had pinpoint accuracy. How did he get that experience if he wasn't in the damn military?
Mike, I've listened.
You're not going to answer the question. Have a nice day.
Got it. Thanks, Mike. Call anytime. I've listened to a lot of gun experts. I'm not a gun expert, but a lot of them say just a little bit of training, you can get that shot off. I don't know. If you're a gun expert, weigh in. You can do it in the comments section on the YouTube page. You can text in as well, 615-737-9986. That's just where I'm at. Who knows? I think Mike was operating from a place of assumptions and speculation, though. That's okay. I'm not mad at him for it. Everybody wants answers. Everybody's upset about this. Me as well. It's 11:55. This is Super Talk 99.7 WTN. Hey, what's up? It's Chris Hand here for my friends at Busy Bee Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling, and I use Busy Bee all the time. You should use Busy Bee right now. They have their best prices of the year event going on. The savings are buzzing right now. With any heating repair service, you get a free dryer vent cleaning. That's right. Protect your home and feel safer on Busy Bee. If you need a new HVAC unit, well, check out these stingers. You can get a Goodman 14.3 SEER 2-ton split heat pump for just $79.95 with a 10-year parts warranty and 2-year labor warranty. A Rudd 14.3 SEER 2-ton with 10 kilowatt heat kit, only $89.95, or upgrade to the 16 SEER 2-ton for just $99.95. Celebrate National Grandparent Day all month long as well. Beehive Club members can get a free Beehive membership to gift to one set of grandparents, their way of honoring family. There's so many deals. All you got to do is give them a call today and take advantage of them. 615-775-7833. 615-775-7833. And if you refer a neighbor, both of you are going to get a $50 credit when you schedule that HVAC maintenance. You can schedule the maintenance online, busybeehvac.com.